Isadora Capri is an incredibly fascinating character in Wednesday. I've already made a video about her, but the information I've gathered now adds even more layers to her personality and makes me think that her plan is far more elaborate and intricate than we realize. Early on, I suggested that Nevermore's new music teacher wasn't as innocent as she seemed, and that one day the show would reveal her true nature. At first, everything pointed to me being right. The show dropped subtle hints, her strange nervousness, the restrained verbal jabs at Wednesday, her connection to the staff of the Willow Hill psychiatric hospital, who experimented on outcasts. It was obvious that Miss Capri was hiding something. But in the second part of season 2, the tone shifts dramatically. The sinister undertones vanish, replaced by a softer, more sympathetic portrayal of Miss Capri, a teacher with a kind heart and a tragic past. We learn that she once lived in Woodstock, where she dated a young artist named Alfie Penn, who, by nature, was a Hyde. Miss Capri says she had no idea about her boyfriend's powers and that they were a happy couple until his master, Minerva Garrick, ordered Alfie to kill Isadora. According to Capri, Minerva was also in love with Alfie and was pathologically jealous. Since it was a full moon, Isadora managed to defend herself, but Minerva wasn't so lucky. Alfie accidentally killed her. My current goal is to reach 500 subscribers, and you can help me get there faster. Don't forget to like and comment. The algorithm loves that, and it helps me understand what kind of videos and theories you enjoy most, so I can create more content like this. It's no secret that when a Hyde kills their master, both their mental and physical health begin to deteriorate. From the newspaper that Wednesday brought to Miss Capri, we learn that after Minerva's death, Alfie fled into the Roosevelt County woods and fell into a psychotic state. When he refused to cooperate with authorities, he was killed by a special task force. It now seems clear that this tragedy may be the reason Miss Capri is determined to find a way to save others like her former lover. Outcasts whose powers have become both a burden and a curse, like Tyler and Enid. But is it really that simple? Remember the moment when Miss Capri realized that Enid might be an alpha. Did it seem like she was pleased by the discovery? Some might say that she was just trying to comfort Enid, given how dire the situation was. But her reaction felt suspiciously delighted. And why didn't Miss Capri contact Enid's parents? Even though Enid's mother could be overbearing at times, I don't believe she would abandon her daughter in such a critical moment. We know that for werewolves, family comes first, yet Capri deliberately kept the truth from them. Maybe the situation isn't as dire as Miss Capri claims. Enid is young and may not know all the secrets of werewolf nature. Capri could be using that to her advantage. Perhaps at first, there was a way to prevent Enid's transformation, but Isadora made sure she never learned about it. Maybe Capri's advice didn't help. It accelerated the process. This fits a classic horror trope, the false mentor archetype. Miss Capri perfectly fits the role of the seemingly kind and trustworthy teacher who preys on a vulnerable student, discovering their dangerous new powers, offering fake guidance to push the victim toward transformation for her own hidden goal. You've seen this dynamic before between Eleven and Henry Creel in Stranger Things, or in Rosemary's Baby, where Rosemary's neighbors pretend to care for her while secretly preparing her child to become the Antichrist. Or an Interview with the Vampire, when Lestat manipulates Lewis with false advice about vampire life to keep him from leaving. Capri's true intentions become more obvious in the season 2 finale when she approaches Tyler as he stands at his parents' graves. He's physically and mentally deteriorating after killing his last master, his own mother. It's not exactly the best time to approach him, yet Miss Capri doesn't hesitate. Instead, she offers help. She tells him she knows of a place where Hydes like him have formed a pack, creating a bond so strong that the need for a master has vanished. At first, Tyler refuses angrily. He doesn't trust werewolves and immediately recognizes her scent. But then, Capri reveals that she's not just a werewolf. Her father was a Hyde. Eventually, we see Tyler leave with her. Why did he agree so easily? Because Tyler has no desire to lose his powers to him. They're a gift. His only torment is his dependence on a master. Capri's offer is his one chance to keep his strength without being controlled. At least, that's what he believes. Now let's recall episode 4 of season 2 when Miss Capri visits Willow Hill and everything suddenly descends into chaos. She seems not to notice that Wednesday has sneaked into her car trunk, but that makes no sense because werewolves are known for their heightened sense of smell, and if Capri also inherited some of her father's Hyde traits, it's even less believable. Some might argue, but what about Enid and Bruno, who didn't notice Agnes hiding in their room? The difference is that Enid and Bruno are much younger and less developed in their abilities. Miss Capri, on the other hand, would have easily detected Wednesday's presence, unless she wanted her there. I'm convinced Capri knew Wednesday was hiding in her trunk and intentionally brought her along to distract the hospital staff, giving Capri the perfect window to execute her plan. And that plan, I believe, was to free Tyler. Remember Wednesday's first meeting with Isadora, when she suspiciously asked how someone as talented as Capri ended up teaching at Nevermore. Isadora had released her first classical album, Wolf Howl, at just 10 years old. It's also strange that a new teacher became so close to the Willow Hill staff so quickly. I have a separate theory about that. I'll link that video above. But the effort she's putting in suggests one thing. What if Miss Capri is secretly gathering Hydes from around the world? Why didn't she approach Tyler sooner then? Because it would have been too risky. After his release, Tyler was consumed with rage and guilt over killing his master, and to make things worse, his mother, an even stronger Hyde, was still alive and free. So what does Capri really want? Some might say she genuinely wants to help Hyde out of compassion. That's possible, but I suspect her motives aren't purely noble. Capri mentioned that her father was a Hyde and he's likely dead. Maybe she was deeply attached to him and never recovered from his loss. We know Hydes are treated as dangerous outcasts, rejected even among outcasts. What if Capri is tired of seeing her kind live in fear of their own nature? She often speaks of pure, unrestrained chaos with almost poetic admiration. That, in essence, is the nature of the Hyde. So what if Isadora's true goal is to rewrite the rule, to create a world where Hydes no longer hide or feel ashamed of their nature, a world where they can embrace their predatory instincts freely? And where does Enid fit into this? Perhaps Capri believes Enid could become the perfect leader for a new Hyde pack. Werewolves don't usually hunt alphas without reason. Maybe the power of an alpha is so immense it threatens even the Hydes, and that's exactly why they eliminate them before they rise. This would make Enid the perfect pawn in Capri's plan. I also think Capri wasn't completely honest about Alfie's story. What if she was the one who convinced him to kill his master, but something went wrong? Maybe Alfie changed his mind or lost control too soon. Or maybe the story we heard was true, but it became the breaking point that pushed Isadora over the edge, leading her to embrace chaos as her ultimate truth. But what do you think about my theory? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts.